So the Las Vegas Raiders have made a flurry of hires for their new coaching staff after bringing on Klint Kubiak, who was the hottest coach to become a head coach this season. And we're going to talk about how this is going to affect the Raiders and how they're doing something that I believe is going to be a huge recipe for success. All that and more in today's episode of Daily Rumble Sports. I am Mike Dean. I am your host. If you're not familiar with me, I also go by the nickname of Raider D because I am a huge Raiders fan. But here on Daily Rumble, we like to cover everything. Now, let's talk about the Raiders. So the Raiders went and they hired a couple of guys. One is in-house. We'll talk about how that's going to impact one Max Crosby here in just a minute. But I want to talk about the youth as well as a good mixture of some very seasoned veteran coaches as well. Number one is Klint Kubiak is a young head coach. Number two is his chosen offensive coordinator who was the quarterback's coach with him in Seattle, and that is Andrew Janocko. He's only 37 years old, and he is accredited to being young and innovative in his coaching style. Another guy that the Raiders promoted from within, which a lot of us were calling for, which is Robbie Leonard. Robbie Leonard is in his 30s as well, and he has been even included in some head coaching conversations past last year as well as this year. Now, fortunately for the Raiders, that didn't pan out for him. Therefore, the Raiders were able to hang on to him, and now he is the official defensive coordinator, taking over for Patrick Graham. I think that this is huge for the Raiders. One is because Robbie Leonard, again, is accredited as being one of those young, innovative guys in today's modern NFL. He is also accredited to working wonders on that defensive line without having a ton of talent, i.e. minus Max Crosby. Now, why is this such an important piece for Max Crosby? Now, number one, Max Crosby's come out and he said, listen, everybody that's talking on the internet about him, because he's been relatively quiet on the coaching stuff and all that, they can all basically go to hell. And then you hire a guy like Robbie Leonard to become the now DC, taking over for Patrick Graham. And him and Max Crosby are like two peas in a pot. They have a very close relationship. And so I think that this is a very good sign that Max Crosby could very well end up staying with the Raiders and not get traded away. Because of that relationship and the stability, he's not going to have a massive change in how the coaching structure is going to happen from Patrick Graham. So for Max and his point of view, he's not going to have to learn a whole brand new playbook. It's basically going to be Patrick Graham's defense, but you're going to see Robbie Leonard put some new modern twists in there from his own style and his own coaching philosophy. But it's that continuity. You didn't go and bring in a whole new defensive system that Max Crosby's now got to work with. He's working with a guy that he already knows, loves, and likes. So this is good news for the Raiders. It's good news for Max Crosby. And I, for one, am all for it. I think promoting from within, when you have a young stud like a Robbie Leonard that everybody has been eyeing for a potential head coaching job at some point, which if he really, puts the defense in the top 10 over the next couple of seasons, you could definitely see him becoming a head coach. This is just going to be really well for the Raiders. Now, the youth that the Raiders have from head coach to offensive coordinator to defensive coordinator is also got a good balance in Joe DeCamillis, who is going to be coming in, and as well as Mike McCoy. Now, Joe's going to be taking over with the special teams, and then Mike McCoy is the assistant head coach. 62 years old, 60 years old, so they're not like, Pete Carroll 70s, but they do have a ton of experience, and that, I believe, is also going to be beneficial for the Raiders. Now, here's the kicker, and that is, there is one position that is yet to be filled, and that's the quarterback's coach. Who is that going to be? Well, there's a ton of rumors right now, thanks to the NFL insiders, saying that one Derek Carr could actually return to the Raiders, not as a player, but as a QB coach for the young Fernando Mendoza. And Derek Carr has signaled that he is all for it. He wants to get back on the field, and it may be that his playing days are over, But his ability to get in there and coach a young Fernando Mendoza, he's already shown he has a perfect match for this. He knows the game like the back of his hand, and he is a great leader. And I think him and Fernando Mendoza are just going to be two peas in a pot. Will the Raiders do it? Is this something that, Brady would want to do, being that Brady and Derek Carr had a little bit of a, type of a thing, because Brady was like, you're going to go with that mother effer over me. Who knows whether or not that's going to end up being the case. But at the end of the day, the Raiders have a choice to make, and I think this would be a perfect match. Bring in Derek Carr. He's a great in-house leader, great locker room guy. I think his coaching career is going to be really good. Give him a shot, back with the silver and black, and there you have it. Him, Fernando Mendoza, it's going to be fantastic. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Make sure you like, follow, and all that stuff, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next Daily Rumble Sports.